Hey, what's going on everyone? Dean Zoo here with the Zoo Lab YouTube channel. I am so excited to share with you a lighting tool that we've literally used on every single shoot, every single setup. We try to fit this thing in wherever we can. This is the Godox spotlight attachment, and here's why we love it. Some of you guys are asking why specifically the Godox spotlight attachment. Many other lighting companies are making a similar attachment like this. We picked this because it's actually one of the most universal lighting attachments that you can purchase. We've used this literally with Godox lights, with Nanlite lights, with Aperture Amaran lights. We've used it with a ton of different manufacturers and it's fit properly. If your light has a bones mount, this thing's probably gonna fit it. Some other spotlight attachments weren't as universal as this one, so this is why we landed on this. Now you might be asking why a spotlight mount and what can it do for me on set? Ever been to a theater or a concert and you see all these spotlights? It's no mystery why they use it so much because it's such a great and efficient way to shape and cut light. We like to use a spotlight attachment anytime we can to add a little bit more texture or interest to our shot. Anything from throwing a slash up on the wall to throwing some texture on the subject's hands and features really adds another element to your lighting game. Now this spotlight in particular comes with a few gobos, and what a gobo is essentially something you put in front of a light to add some more shapes or dimensions to it. Gobos out there are like Venetian blinds or cucoloris or tree branches or even flames. These gobos are super helpful to make some creative looks on whatever surface you're throwing the spotlight on. You also have the ability to throw some colored gels in front of the spotlight, which is really cool if you're really leaning into some creative colors on the surface that you're casting this light on. Now, why are some reasons we love this light? Well, for one, it's super easy to use. You throw it on a combo or a C-stand, or sometimes we throw it on our beaver board, and all you gotta do is attach a light behind it that has a Bowens mount, and you're ready to go. Once it's set up, then it's up to you to create. You can use gobos, gels, or you don't have to use any of it and just adjust it to cast the beam that you want onto your surface. Another reason why we love using this thing is because it can turn an ordinary space into something that looks really phenomenal. Even when we're taking photos or we're doing an interview against a solid color background that might lack some interest, you'll be so surprised at what happens when you just throw in a slash of light in the background to really enhance the overall look. Sometimes we use this thing as a single light source as a key to really add some drama to our scene. Take a look here at a clip from our recent YouTube video where we walk through some filmmaking tips that you can practice at home. And this is one of the scenes that we practice with. And notice that we can just use this one light source to create an amazing look. Now I'm going to get a little nitpicky here because there are a couple of things that I wish the spotlight mount had that would really elevate it to the next level. Now the gobos and the adjuster plates are quite flimsy and they bend and warp really easily. Now if you're moving this thing around a lot or you're packing and unpacking a lot, just be careful with some of these plates and some of these handles. They can bend on you really easily, but the good thing is because it is so flimsy, you can kind of just bend it right back. Now another nitpick thing here is you got to be really careful with using this thing with some higher power lighting. This thing kind of gets pretty hot. And when you run this thing for about 45 minutes with a big light source like that, be careful with whoever's handling it because the housing gets really, really, really warm. Kind of takes you back to the old school HMI days where kind of got to be careful and you got to have some leather mitts on set. It's kind of the same scenario with the spotlight mount. Now, most of the time we use this with an Aperture 200X or 100X, and it's perfectly fine. It's really rated for lights that are in that 100 to 300 watt range. Another thing that could be improved upon on this is the mount point itself. I feel like once you add a light behind the attachment, the mounting point is a little weak and a little flimsy, and you really got to crank this thing down to lock it into place. Now remember, you got the weight of the spotlight plus the weight of whatever light you're attaching to it. So I wish that mounting point to your C-stand to your combo was just a little beefier to withstand some of that extra weight. All in all, in 2023, we use this piece of lighting tool probably more than anything else on set. We love this Godox spotlight mount so much. We use it all the time for both photos and for video. Hey, let us know in the comments if you've used this spotlight mount or any other spotlight mount and how it compares to this one. We'd love to hear your feedback. Our channel is built on helping you, the creative community. So any notes or any feedback you can give us, we take that to heart and we actually create content based on that. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.